Taylor Lorenz released an interview that she got with Chaya Raichik, the Libs of TikTok lady. Absolute monster of a woman. And now a government official. Let's watch.
Did you know any LGBTQ people growing up? What was your exposure to that community just in life prior to sort of understanding the world through politics?
I never really paid attention to it.
So you didn't have any LGBT?
Did you have any experiences with queer people prior to you getting involved in politics? I didn't really pay attention. You know, like if you cracked her noggin open, there'd be nothing in there. Yeah, it's crazy. Like you know that, you know, there's not necessarily a by the way, the funny thing is, like, Chaya Raichik was livid after this interview because she went on Twitter and was mad that Taylor Lorenz posted it when Chaya was traveling and couldn't like immediately respond. She posted a bunch of didn't she tweet out something that where she was like listing a bunch of like negative, she was eventually like trashing Taylor right after getting back. But what they had like a really funny opening point. I forget what it was. Oh yeah, she called Taylor Lorenz a lizard person, but there was like there was one the top of the list. You know, is she mentally unwell or just evil? I literally think she's just a suburban mom. She's just a stupid, evil, conservative mom who just ditzily floated through life until she saw during the pandemic either an opportunity for, or maybe she genuinely was driven to action by that, and she just dumbly regurgitates the biases that she's fed on social media, and now she is what she is with no like greater thought or charisma.
I think it's kind of interesting, I guess, in the conservative movement, there's this ideology around sort of white nationalism, which is obviously kind of a hardline ideology that's generally been pretty critical of Jewish communities. And I'm wondering, as a Jewish woman, how do you feel about sort of aligning yourself with those people and accounts? You know, you see this sort of rhetoric in your replies, and I only bring it up, I'm not saying that you necessarily endorse that rhetoric, I would imagine that you don't, but how do you kind of think about those nuances when you're thinking about kind of the audience that you're building?
Some of your audience says we should chop off kids' body parts.
Holy shit! Oh my god! She's actually like nothing! Nothing! My impression from this, Chaya is genuinely like low IQ. Like, it takes some degree of charisma to navigate questions like this, you know? And she just doesn't have it. So if she feels like she's stumped by it, she'll just, you're gay. The right's response to this has been so funny. Yes, a lot of people, the reason Chaya Raichik went on social media and like denounced this and got really mad about the interview isn't because people on the left are trashing her. It's because people on the right are trashing her. She is one of the loudest and most aggressive far-right advocates on social media. And she already is like on thin ice because obviously the Nazi movement in the conservative wing is pretty like loud at the moment, and she is Jewish. So that's a part of it. But also like she looks so fucking stupid here that it genuinely just makes them look bad. You finally get one of these like, you know, Twitter, dipshit activists or whatever here, and ask them some questions, and she can't answer anything.
So how do you square your sort of notion of free speech and free expression and allowing all of that stuff with wanting literature removed and wanting access to information removed?
What kind of literature?
You tell me.
Porn, gay porn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to a sex ed class, or is this all sort of new to you, where you're sort of learning about how this works in public schools?
I don't live under a rock.
What?
So you did have sex ed classes when you were growing up?
We had some kind of education, yeah.
Uh-huh. So you do think it's important for children to have education, sex education?
Not the way they're doing it in public schools.
Uh-huh. How are they doing it?
They're giving kids porn and telling...
It's so fucking crazy how like this entire wave of reactionary like free speech crackdowns in schools is because you know fully well that like a few school districts had in their high school libraries tucked into the corner like an LGBT section with just a couple books that like the librarian got recommended by some online resource or whatever, and occasionally high school students would open them up and giggle and go like, oh look, it's like a drawing of a boob in there, which you could see from any like biology textbook or anatomy class class or any of that bullshit, and is infinitely less gratuitous than the actual sex education they would have gotten. I was shown a video of a baby being born. I was shown like plenty of illustrations of genitalia. Like I like significantly less graphic than any of that. So like the kids open it up to boobies, and now because like that was in a few school districts, Chaya Raichik and the entire Republican Party gets to pretend that every single public school student in America is being given like a 3-week extensive course on sexuality by being shown Pornhub clips or something.
They're giving middle school children guides to gay sex and anal sex.
Like this, yeah, that's true. That's what the average middle school student is getting right now. Not just like one school that had like a LGBT section had that or whatever, just insane shit.
How would you describe the type of sex education that you would like to see in schools?
At this point, I want all sex education actually removed from schools.
Oh, wow. What a fucking, wow. What a goddamn convenient answer that is.
Who are you supporting in the election?
There's one candidate, Trump. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Will you be campaigning on his behalf?
We'll see.
Would you prefer, are you hoping to kind of...
She's so bad. And she is remarkably uncharismatic. Like this is exceptional. There's a normal level of uncharismatic that you just expect from people who haven't had media training, and that's fine. This is remarkable though. You could go find anyone else off the street of LA and ask them questions, and they would give you more like animated, thoughtful responses than this. Is she worse than Elon? Yeah, I'd say so. Elon is pretty uncharismatic, but mostly in like a kind of like a ditzy autism, like spacey sort of way. He doesn't come across as very smart, but he does come across as ponderous. She just comes across as vapidly stupid,
if you eradicate transgenderism, which I believe you suggested in a post today.
No, I never suggested that.
Oh, okay. You reposted a post that was advocating for that. What would happen to the people that have already medically, socially, completely transitioned and are leading happy lives? What would happen to them? I mean, what's your plan for that? If transgenderism doesn't exist, which it seems like that's what you believe, what happens to all the people living happy lives as trans people?
Well, first of all, the whole trans it's based on a lie. You can't change your gender.
You can't change your gender. Well, first of all, you can't change your gender.
Okay, but
so they could go live their life. I mean,
this is remarkable because I feel like I could be engaging in some kind of rhetorical analysis, but I am just mesmerized by how incredibly repellent she is. Like she's actually like, she is conservatism's strongest soldier because she's the greatest possible argument for misogyny. like it's insane. This is like, she legit sounds like a Borat character, a caricature of stupid American Valley girls. She does.
What's the harm of people expressing their gender identity differently than you believe it to be? What harm are they causing?
Like I said, we are a nation of truth, and I seek the truth.
But it's fucking incredible. It's incredible. It's like a different like evolutionary path. It's remarkable. Like you merely wielded the dumb fuck argument. Chaya Raichik, however, born into it. Do you think that she thinks the way that we do? Is this like an NPC thing? This is like medically interesting.
But I'm asking about the harm. What's the harm? You might believe it to be false, but what's the
harm? Is that there's a lie that is very mainstream and is being embedded into every institution.
I guess I'm wondering what the material harm is. Aside from it's maybe something that you disagree with, as in your version of the truth is different than their version of the truth. What is the material harm of them living their life as a woman or man or a gender that you don't agree?
Not anything that's wrong is there a material harm necessarily.
So there's no harm?
I didn't say that.
So can you...
No wonder conservatives are mad at her over this interview, dude. She can't even... There are like 50 canned arguments any conservative could make about like material harm or whatever. You could talk about desistance or body trauma or suicide. You could say anything, but she can't.
Where do you sort of hope this will end up? Like all of this sort of the advocacy that you're doing. What's if you were sort of like gonna describe your platform? What are some things that you'd like to see, meaningful changes in terms of policies, laws?
Oh, I want to eradicate gender ideology from
Hey, do you have any policy ideas? You know, like policy that you could do in the form of law, like something that you could put in a book, you know, law, like something enforceable. Yeah, I want to like eradicate transgender.
There are 0 genders. I have a sex, I'm female.
There are 0 genders.
Yeah.
So you want to live in sort of a post-gender world,
Gender
where
abolitionist.
everybody can kind of express themselves through personality however they like.
Well, that's what it is now, but they're just calling it gender.
So,
but you know, there's males and females.
She's fucking denying science, Vaush. On my fucking yeah. There's a reason why conservative lines on this are that there are 2 genders, not 0 genders. The line conservatives say are that there are 2 genders, and gender and sex mean the same thing, basically. Her doing the 0 gender bit is really stupid and creates unnecessary work for her ideologically. She could just say they're 2 terms for the same basic category, and that trans activists try to blow it out into some other thing. You know, that's wrong, but that's the general line. But she's stupid, so despite the fact that she should have prepared for this interview and also has been for years reiterating these talking points, she can't say shit.
Elon is the greatest free speech warrior, I think, of all time.
Remember, her entire career right now, look at her face. She is so checked out. Her entire career right now is dependent on her having like prominence on Twitter, you know? Chaya Raichik doesn't have any unique drive or personality or charisma. It's pretty much just the inertia of her being the Twitter stochastic terrorism lady. So, like, obviously she's going to glaze him as much as possible. Oh yeah, she has been during this whole interview. Yeah, because she has to know how stupid she comes across, right? She doesn't look very happy to be here. She doesn't look like triumphant after making any point. She just looks frustrated that she has to say things out loud and be scrutinized for her stupidity.
I still can't, I don't think you answered me to begin with, but what are some of your favorite media outlets?
I said I like independent journalists.
But who?
Like some of the people I follow on Twitter have the best news.
Like who? Like who?
Incredible. You know she does. She literally just like reads whatever gets retweeted to her feed. That's it. I looked up Chaya Raichik jean skirt and I got a okay buddy Vaush post. Remarkable. Shoulders broader than hips. Hoodie hides male shoulder shape. Chaya Raichik is wearing a jean skirt, an ankle-length jean skirt that gives you room to waddle like a penguin. Remarkable. I have never seen an item of clothing like this. It's the dress. Yeah, it's the dress. It's not even a skirt. It goes down here. It's like hateful and dripless. Unforgivable. No kidding.